Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video. In today's video we are going to do the Hero Spotlight for Tileana, the range damager for the Wild Elves. So let's get into it. So looking at Tileana and her stats, we got hit points 1.7 million, speed 217, armor 20,000, magic damage resist 20,000, basic damage 217k, critical hit chance 33%, critical damage 375k. And again, I'm going to go through her stats just so you guys can pause it wherever you want and have a look at anything specific. Opinion, statement, whatever you want to call it. How do I get out of that? So what am I not happy with? I'm not happy with her speed and her crit hit chance. The simple reason for that is because I just did a video on Gloriana, the healer, who's wearing a dress, who's a healer, who is quicker than this archer Tileana and has a higher crit chance. The crit chance isn't super important because we'll go over her kit. You understand why when we talk about her kit. But her speed, I mean, why is she slower than the healer? Makes no sense. This chick should be pretty quick. I mean, she looks quick. Look at her. I mean, what's she slow? What's slow about her? She's a wild elf, and she's slim. She's got everything going for her. She should be quick. Anyway, we'll jump into the arena, look at her abilities, what they do, and just have a little bit of a test. And from what I've heard as well, her shards will be available in one of these stores, so she should be pretty easy to max out when her shards are put in the game. But don't take my word for that. That's just what I've heard on the wins. So we'll jump into the arena right now. So in the arena, we're versing 3 demons just to show her off to the fullest of her potential. Her basic attack is Sharp Arrow, deals damage to one target, deals an extra 80% damage if the target can't dodge. So very niche to have a character that cannot dodge, but if it does, your basic attack does 80% more damage, which wouldn't be too horrible. So it's like an extra, it's an extra fair bit of damage. What is it, 160k extra damage? Anyway, we'll go have a look at the animation. We're going to attack Racer with her basic attack. Yeah, cool. I mean, there was a crit there anyway. I mean, I think people are just happy that we've got an actual range damager with a bow. Again, that's what we want. We're going to see some more bows in the game. Pretty basic attack. We'll jump onto her first special. So her first special is Sighting Shot. This is why the crit thing I wasn't too fussed about. Deals damage to one target, has 20% chance per wild elf in the party and light ally in the party to increase own critical damage by 50%, and is also guaranteed to deal critical hit for 2 turns. So what I like about this ability is that she can be used with light heroes. She's not restricted to just the wild elves. So is she going to be the new 5th character to the Archon squad? Who knows? But yeah, I'm glad that she's not restricted to the Wild Elves. I feel like that's so good. So yeah, we'll go have a look at what the animation is like. We're going to again use it on a Racer, and beautiful. A crit again. She's really wrecking those crits. Okay, so yeah, now she has the increased damage on her next crit and a guaranteed crit on her next shot, and that will play into her next ability as well. So we'll jump over and look at that. Her second special ability is Headshot. Deals damage to one target that can't be dodged. Has a 20% chance per wild elf or light ally in the party to reduce the target's initiative by 30% and get a bonus to her initiative equal to the amount of target's initiative which was reduced. So it's a little bit of a speed boost. Her turn will come around quicker. And what else? Yeah, that's it pretty much. And with the guaranteed crit and damage, she should do a fair amount. So we'll go ahead and look on Abaddon how much crit damage we can get out of this. 975k. Nearly 1 million. Pretty decent. And then she hasn't been buffed by anything else as well. So yeah, that's fairly decent. This also puts the melee damager mark on the target. Increases by 100% proportion to... What's this? Damage from a melee damage attack increases by 100% in proportion to the target's HP. Pretty decent, and triggers the range damager class mark as well. So she could work with Egon, But I mean, very niche heroes, so it'll be interesting. So what I want to do before we move on to her passive, I believe it's a passive. Yeah, it's not a leadership; it's a passive. Is I just want to test how much damage she could do with the Gloriana buff. So give me a second, and I'll set that up. Okay, so we've set Tileana up with her buff from Gloriana, who gives her a buff that can do 20% more damage for every buff that the allies have. So it doesn't actually buff Gloriana. So it's a 80% damage buff on top of her crit damage and her crit guaranteed crit hit. So let's see what she can wallop out on the Abaddon here with all this damage increase. 1.9 million crit damage. So if you can set her up, she can do a lot of damage. I mean, the only downfall with this is, again, I'm going to compare it to the Archons. It's going to be hard to use her against Archons because she can't crit when barrier is up. So all the setting up you're going to do on her, it's going to be waste because the target you're going to want to use it on is probably going to have a barrier, or it's going to be Magnus, who has his uncrittable ability. You can't crit him, so it's a lot of wasted. But hey, if you find a team that isn't using Archons, you might be setting yourself up for a fun fight. So yeah, we'll jump over to her passive and see what that is about. So moving on to her passive, Elven Tactics performs a support attack every time another wild elf or light ally in the party attacks arrogant undead or demons. Gains 30% initiative every time she dodges or deals a critical hit. Has a 20% chance per wild elf in the or light ally to do one counterattack against the next enemy to attack her. So she has a fair bit of speed boost to her. She's designed to be very effective against arrogant undead, which not horrible because there are a few bomb nuke squads and undead armies that float around. Demon squads, though, do we see any demon squads? No, we don't. So that's a bit of a waste to that ability. But I mean, if for any reason in the future that demons, like some type of PVE mode comes out where demons are the thing you're fighting, or the undead of the thing you're fighting, she could be a weapon to use. So as you can see, let's go ahead and just attack with just basic attacks. Demon. So Gloriana will come through and attack. Oh, she can crit as well. We'll just attack. Do a few attacks. I mean, just from a passive, she's doing a lot of damage. Combine her with Maeglin, who can do support attacks when allies who are hidden attack. You could be getting a lot of just passive damage out through a few of the Wild Elves' passive abilities, but it's a lot. You see, you got to kind of run a setup that can supply everything. You've got to have Colonel to hide the healers, even though Gloriana is already hidden. She is unable to heal herself. That's the thing. The only way I've seen that you can heal Gloriana on a full Wild Elf team is through Colonel, and when he hides them. Even though she's already hidden, she still gets the heal from that. So you have to have Colonel, or you have to run another healer to help Gloriana. She can do. You can't not run a Wild Elf team without Gloriana. She just does too much for the Wild Elves. Idril is just a really good support character. She doesn't do a lot of damage though. Sindariel needs a buff. I feel like if Sindariel gets a buff, the Wild Elves could be competitive. They could really be competitive. Even if she's not run as the leader, I feel like they need to do something to her just to give her a boss title. She needs to do something because she's a disappointment right now. Opinion on Tileana. She's cool. I don't see a lot of people using her. It's hard to see what 5 Wild Elves you want to use. They're either as shit as each other or as good as each other. I mean, there's nothing that really stands out in the Wild Elves except for maybe Colonel and Gloriana. Just Colonel is a pretty decent tank, but he's just a support tank. So the Wild Elves are just a bit of everything. It's just a lot going on with them, and they don't achieve much. But hopefully Gloriana can change it, and hopefully we can find some type of build that can use her And I'm glad that Tileana can be used with light side heroes as well. That gives people the opportunity to test her in a variety of builds, which is really good. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll answer to the best of my ability. And wherever you are around the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.